Hi everyone, welcome back to Vesh IS. This is Neha, and we were completing the Geography Class 12 NCERT. Before this, we have completed one book of it, the other part, which includes the human geography in the Indian perspective. That book we have completed completely in almost like 10 to 12 lectures, and now we are starting with the another book, that is Human Geography, Fundamentals of Human Geography. That book we have completed in the Indian perspective. So I have tried to explain everything almost there, like giving a perspective of a country. Now what we'll be studying, we'll be studying it as a umbrella view. Okay, human geography as in concept. What will help you the most in this will be, as you have already studied the Indian part, so you will be able to link it. Why I chose to start that book first was so that you'll be having an example that okay, this happens in this country. There's no perfect strategy about it, that first you have to study this book or that book. I thought to teach that book first, so that my purpose was mainly students ignore that book, because they just go and study this section and they just forget that book. Okay, that's why I have taken that Indian perspective first, so that it will be easy for you to write the answers easily. And now we'll be starting with fundamentals of human geography. All you have to do over here is the concepts. Basically, I'll be explaining you the concepts of human geography. Okay, so things will be a little easy for you if you have watched all the lectures which we have completed recently. Okay, and before starting, you all know this thing that our installment options are still open for you. So whosoever is interested, kindly come and enroll it as soon as possible, because we are closing it down soon. Okay, and I believe that if you are a serious aspirant, you have already enrolled. So are those test series students and our batches student, they are already in use benefits. So there's no option for them to miss these lectures. So you guys have to watch it carefully. And the other students who have not enrolled it yet now, so just we have already provided you the installment option. So I don't think so now it is difficult for any one of you to join it. Okay, and fees are also like affordable one only. Vesher is not charging like overpriced or all those things. You know those things very well. You all are the civil aspirants. You know what is wrong and right for you. So just take the right decision. Okay, so enroll it as soon as possible. And before starting, you know that Vesh IAS is available at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can write us on Gmail, or you can just directly ping us on WhatsApp. Alright, so we are beginning with the fundamentals of human geography. It's your class 12 NCERT. So unit 1, human geography, nature and scope. So basically you have to understand that this book will give you the perspective of human geography. Even if you are an optional student, you'll find this book is of utmost importance. I'm telling you, before switching to those Mazhar Hussein's book and all, just go through these books. They will provide you very holistic understanding of a single topic. Okay, so optional students just study it in that sense, because it will literally, the language you'll see, you'll find the straightforward answers of your things. Okay, so learn it first from here, then move to the standard books. Geography, just make it your base first. Okay, so let's start. We know this thing that every subject we study, you have been studying at the time of when you guys just come from your class 10 and starting with the class 11. First chapter of every class, almost every class, they'll be telling you the introduction of the subject. Even if you go with arts, if you go with commerce, the economy and all, they are being teaching you that these subjects are a discipline. So basically, when we talk about geography, I already told this thing that geo means earth. Okay, so we'll be understanding earth as home of human being, and to study, we'll be studying to study those elements which have sustained them, like how human being have sustained. Okay, it's also a geography. Alright, so basically we'll be studying the nature and human being, the link between nature and human being, and we'll be seeing this thing that geography got subjected to dualism, the dual concept. So I'll be explaining all this thing in the coming lectures also. So just write this word somewhere. I'll be explaining you each and every terminology, but before, this is an introductory lecture of this book, so just create an understanding what we will actually study. Do not miss the chapter number 1. The most stupid thing we commit while studying these chapters is we just skip the chapter 1 thinking, oh, it's just a chapter 1. No, it is going to, it will basically provide you the holistic view that okay, these are the steps you are going to study in this book. So without wasting your time, we'll directly come to this. Okay, so when various debates have been done, we know this thing, whenever a subject is started, many debates come, many thoughts come on it. So first theory comes, then an anti-theory comes, then another theory comes explaining the flaws of the another theory and completing the flaws of another theory. Okay, so all those things. So basically we know this thing, geography as a discipline should be a law making, theorizing, so that is nomothetic, or descriptive, that is ideographic. So wherever the word nomothetic will come, you will see this thing that it's a law making or theorizing. Okay, and whenever descriptive part comes, we are going to call it ideographic, basically an idea, giving an idea about the things. So we are just attaching it to ideology. Okay, now, whether a geographic phenomena interpreted theoretically or through historic institution approach. So, all those questions will be coming to your mind. They have been issues for intellectual exercise, but finally you will appreciate that dichotomy, dualism, dichotomy. I am not explaining these words right now because I'll be explaining them completely ahead. Dichotomy between physical and human is not a very valid one, because nature and human are inseparable elements and should be holistically. It is interesting to note that physical and human phenomena are described in metaphors using symbols for human. Dichotomy, whenever we talk about dichotomy, you'll see this like geography has been discarded as a concept of, you'll realize it, because this nature and geography can never be different. That's very true. So when dichotomy comes into place, it says that these are different. They are not affected by each other. So that's why I don't want to confuse you. We'll be explaining all these things. So whenever a definition of human geography is asked, just mention the name of this geographer and just write this definition. That gives an impact that you're writing a valid definition. Okay. So what Russell say? It says Russell, human geography is the synthetic study of relationship between human societies and Earth's surface. Synthesis has been emphasized in the above definition. So basically, this geographer has emphasized on synthesis, synthetic study. Okay, human geography is the study of changing relationship between unresting man and unstable Earth. Okay, so unstable, whenever we talk about the word unstable, that means it's dynamic. So dynamism is the keyword of samples definition. Conception resulting from a more synthetic knowledge of the physical laws governing our Earth and the relationship between the living being which inhabited. Paul Vidal de la Blache. Human geography offers a new conception of the interrelationship between Earth and human being. So wherever you go, just try to do not write these ones first. Just go with this definition. Okay. Moving ahead. So we know that we are starting human geography. All right. So basically, what is nature of human geography? I won't be stretching this lectures very much. Particularly this lecture number 1, but we should not skip this chapter, because I'll be giving you the holistic approach of the thing, that this is the basic thing. Like, you cannot jump on the 10th floor directly. First you have to go to the first floor, second floor, third floor. So that base ground floor is very important. Build it. Then it's up to you. See, Webster has been continuously telling all the students that study. Whosoever studies will clear the exam. Whosoever doesn't won't be. Webster holds huge experience of the things. So do not consider him as like whatever he's saying, he's just saying casually. No, nothing casual is there. Alright. So just pay attention to whatever he says, because he has got the tremendous experience of the things. Okay. Fine. Much of the drama. Human geography studies the interrelationship between physical environment and socio-cultural environment created by human beings through mutual interaction with each other. So dichotomy theory, which we have talked about earlier, so we'll be linking these things, okay? You know that those elements, why I'm using this word dualism, dichotomy again and again, so that you get habitual of it, so that you start inculcating them in your answers. You know that these elements are landform, soils, climate, water, natural vegetation, and diverse flora and fauna. Can you make a list of all this? Houses, villages, cities, railroads, networks, and all other elements of material culture have been created by human being. We know this thing. Using the resources provide the physical environment. So basically, what is the nature of human geography is that there's a relationship between physical environment and social environment. We build the house, but the raw material of the house comes from the nature, right? We are not creating the stones by ourselves. So the raw material of that comes from the nature. So these two things are mutually interacted. All right. So then coming to naturalization of humans and humanization of nature. Understand this thing. Naturalization of humans and humanization of nature. We are transforming nature according to us, and we are basically naturalizing according to the nature. Okay, human beings interact with their physical environment with the help of technology. Alright, it is not important what human beings produce and create, but it is extremely important with the help of what tools and technique they do to create it. So technology, right? We basically, what we do is, if something is not getting extracted, we use our mind and we create the technology. So basically we are transforming the technology based on our demands, based on the how we can extract something from the nature. Okay. Technology indicates the level of cultural development of society. Human beings were able to develop technology after they developed better understanding of natural laws. For example, the understanding of concepts of friction and heat helped us discover fire. The interaction between primitive human society and strong forces of nature were termed as environmental determinism. And remember this word again: dualism, dichotomy, environmental determinism. All those students of geography optional, you must be knowing this thing, that these words are directly mentioned in your syllabus. So go and see the syllabus first, the second section, I guess, right? Yeah. So what is environmental determinism? Determinism is the interaction between primitive human society, the primary ones, agriculture ones, and the strong forces of nature, was termed as environmental determinism. Okay. The people begin to understand the environment. We know this thing due to environmental determinism, because the primitive ones and force the nature with the passage of time. The forces which are in nature with the passage of time. With social and cultural development, human development, better and more efficient technology, we know this thing very well. They move from a state of necessity to state of freedom. Yeah. They create possibility with the resources obtained by the environment. The human activities create cultural landscape. The imprints of human activities are created everywhere. Health resorts on highlands, huge urban sprawls. Like, we are creating lot much trains on the mountains. Getting the point? But if you imagine it someday, just imagine how hard it would be, right? So basically that is environmental determinism, because human being from necessity to it's going toward the freedom, that I have all the right to extract whatever from the nature. So from the necessity we are moving towards the freedom. All right. Why it's moving like this? I will leave it. The earlier scholars termed this as possibilism. What is possibilism now? You have to remember these words, the geography optional ones. Just go and watch the syllabus. These words are already there. Yeah. Okay. So the imprints of human activities are created everywhere. We know this thing. We have our footprints everywhere. Health resorts on highland, huge urban sprawls, fields, pastures in the plains, rolling hills, oceanic roots, oceanic surface, and all this. The earlier scholars termed this as possibilism, that we are finding basically the humanization of the nature, right? Fine. Nature provides the opportunity and human being make use of these, and slowly nature gets humanized and starts bearing the imprints of human endeavor. A geographer, Griffith Taylor, introduced another concept which reflects a middle part, the Madhyam Marg. between the two ideas of environmental determinism and possibilism. What was possibilism? We are humanizing the nature. We are creating the urban sprawls, highlands on the resorts. And what was the environmental determinism? That the interaction between the society was determinism. We were determining the nature. So there's a madhyam marg between this thing. The Taylor described or introduced the madhyam marg. He termed it as neo-determinism or stop and go determinism. Those who live in the cities and those who have visited a city might have seen the traffic, right? Red means to store, amber light means the gap between red and green, and then green means to go. The concept shows that neither is there a situation of absolute necessity. Absolute necessity means environmental determinism, and nor there is a condition of absolute freedom. Getting my point? Like, there's no situation of absolute necessity. Green means go, yellow means the gap between red and green, and red means to stop. So absolute necessity of situation is not there, and there's not a situation of absolute freedom also. So there's a madhyam mark, this yellow light between. Okay, it means human being can conquer nature by obeying it. Neo-determinism. They have to respond to the red signals, yes. Can proceed in their pursuit of development when nature permits a modification. It means that possibilities can be created within the limits which do not damage the environment, and there is no free run without accident. The free runs which the developed economies attempted to take have already resulted in greenhouse effects, ozone, global warming, receding glaciers, degrading lands. The neo-determinism conceptually attempts to bring a balance, nullifying the either or dichotomy. Get it? One says dichotomy, there is no relationship. So that's not a madhyam marg. We cannot go to one or zero. We are not going to the extremism, right? Getting my point? Come to this. Welfare or humanistic school of thought in human geography was mainly concerned with the different aspects of social well-being of the people. These included aspects such as housing, health, education. Geographers have already introduced a paper as Geography of Social Well-being in the postgraduate curriculum, right? Radical schools of thought employed Marxian theory to explain the basic cause of poverty, deprivation, and social inequality. Contemporary schools, right? Behavioral schools of thoughts are laid great emphasis on lived experience and also on the perception of space by social categories based on ethnicity, race, religion, etc. Alright, so let's talk about the fields and subfields of human geography. So basically when we talk about fields, there is a social, urban, political, population and settlement. Okay, and the subfields are social geography, behavioral, geography of social well-being, geography of leisures, cultural geography, gender geography, historical geography, medical geography. So interface with sister discipline of social sciences. Social science is sociology, physiology, welfare economics. So all these subjects are there in the masters. When you go epidemiology, sociology, anthropology, women's studies. So basically that's part of human geography. Okay, history and urban geography, urban studies and planning. And when you talk about political geography, electoral geography, subfields, and then the interface between sister discipline. Okay, so this you'll study. Economic geography, geography of resources. This is a complete, I think, section in geography optional, right? Bhai, you have to padna to padega. You have to study everything. Yes. Now these are the broad stages and thrust of human geography. I would like every one of you to please go through this thing. Like what was there in earlier colonial period, later colonial period, then 1930s, 1990s, basically 1990s, 1970s, 1950s, 60s. Yes, see, what were the approaches? Like why colonial, these Britishers came basically for exploration and description. So link it that way. Okay, then they just moved later colonial, they just more focus was given on the regions. So basically imperial and trade interests prompted the discovery and all those things. You know that thing. Regional analysis was all the regions were part of the whole earth. So more understanding was, more focus was there on that. Okay, then areal differentiation, the basically again the area one. The focus was identifying the uniqueness of any region. Okay, understanding how and why it is different from others. Aerial mapping you must be have heard of. Spatial organization like 1950-60. use of computers and sophisticated tools, technology started, again the humanization of nature or naturalization of humans. Getting my point? Just remember the words. Just do one thing after this lecture. Just take paper and pen when you will just revise this lecture. Just write down those keywords, right? Write down keywords starting from dichotomy, dualism, determinism, environmental determinism, neo-determinism. Write it down. क्या होता है ना, I'm sorry, yeah, what happens, these words, people are like, okay, dualism, dichotomy, but to write an answer of geography, you have to use the keywords of geography. Whenever you study directly contact with Webster, you will find we have included those things. Not like Webster have basically included those things. We have focused more on keywords. So like the holistic approach is there. Webster has given lot much of efforts in everything, right? So that we won't be giving here, right? We are providing the lectures for free, everything. So write down those keywords, you'll be able to write a very good answer. Then emergence of humanistic and radical behavior. Then postmodernism geography, you know this thing, the grand generalization, applicability of universe theories to the importance of understanding each local context. So basically why I want you to focus more on this is, if you will remember only this part also, no, this approaches one, you'll see that you'll be able to figure out things. Okay, it went to the, it is very important to study history of every subject. It is very important to study history of every subject. History means like what was the phases of geographical development, the present moment where we are standing, what was the basically status of it. All right, so do not miss this chapter. I'm still warning every one of you. Yes, I am warning every one of you. Do not miss this chapter. What students do is they are getting very over smart these days. I don't know how. Actually Western students are not doing those things, but the other students getting over smart, skipping the chapter 1. I don't know why you guys are skipping the chapter number 1. So watch it. All the technical issues has been resolved now for our further lectures, so nobody is going to complain about it first. All right, and we are just trying to quick it up, not wasting much of your time. Like we are just trying our best to finish things as soon as possible. All right, so do not miss this chapter. Also like, share and subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends so that it becomes easy for you. This lecture will be, I think, of 30 minutes, not like 25 or 20 minutes. And to revise it, it would only take 5 to 10 minutes. What you have to do is write down the keywords or highlight the keywords. All right, and just Google it up. Just write 2 keywords. You highlight the keyword and write the 2 words about those keywords. 2 words, only 2 words. That will be more helpful for you. Okay, we have many ideas for you, but all you have to do is work hard. Yes, and just join us as soon as possible. Webster is having wonderful plan for every one of you this year. So if you are missing it, you are missing it, a very huge thing. All right. So student, this was enough for today. Thank you so much for connecting with me again. All right, and we'll be completing this book as soon as possible. Like we have completed our earlier book, we have kept to our promise. We have completed this book. We are going to complete this book also as soon as possible. Then depending on your response, we'll be coming. We have many ideas for you. We have many more things for you, but all you have to do is just show your response, share it with your friends, be connected to Webster. He'll take you so far. That's my belief. Okay, so just take care, be happy, be kind to everyone, stay happy, just enjoy the journey, and signing out for today. Take care. Okay, bye bye.